high season for photography is finally here. In this week's video, I thought I'd share my top 3 tips on how to get good fall colors in your images. In order to do that, we're going to go back to a morning a few days ago when I decided to go for a walk just outside my house. Good morning, guys. Today's focus is color. Mainly, I'm going to show you guys how I capture vibrant colors in my fall images. I'm being attacked. So one technique that I commonly use is contrast. As you can see in this scene, it's overwhelmingly green, but then you have this orange tree, and that draws the eye towards that color. It's also very easy to edit these photos. I'm going to show you guys afterwards how I can use some simple editing techniques to bring out the orange and make this tree stand out even more. So I'm going to grab the shot now. Now we're in this place. I've been here many times before, but I think it's going to be pretty easy to illustrate one of my techniques here. So I'm going to find an image and then I'm going to show you guys my best tip for getting good fall colors. I just got to find out where. Okay, so I think I found the perfect spot to illustrate to you guys the effect a polarizing filter has on your fall colors. So right now I'm shooting a couple of tree trunks and a lot of red, orange leaves on the ground. Now those leaves on the ground, they carry a reflection from the sky above because they're slightly wet. But what the polarizer allows us to do is to remove that reflection, which makes the image more vibrant and full of color. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take 2 images, one with the polarizer effect on and one with the polarizer effect off, so we can compare the 2 afterwards. I'm shooting at f/16 because I want everything pin sharp and in focus. My shutter speed is 2 seconds. As far as movement in the leaves and the branches, I'm not too concerned because there's literally no wind. And with this lens f/16, everything's going to be pin sharp. My ISO is 250, and of course I got my 2-second timer on. There we go. Okay, so my last tip for you guys has to do with shapes. It's easy to walk around when you look for color, which is what we're shooting right now. It is easy to forget the thing that ties the image together, which is shapes and textures. Now this tip is going to feel kind of counterintuitive, but trust me, it really works and it really helps you find things to shoot when you're out and about in nature and there's colors everywhere. So what works for me is to actually turn the camera into black and white mode. Now that may sound kind of counterintuitive as we're shooting fall colors, but it really helps me narrow myself in on interesting shapes and patterns and textures. And then once I have that in order, that's when I look for color. So right now I've found a perfect place to illustrate this technique. There's a lot of interesting shapes in the trees in this area. So right now I'm just walking around trying to find interesting setups that I can shoot. And I know the color is going to be good because there's color everywhere here. So I'm just going to move around a little bit to try to get the shapes that I want and line them up neatly. And then we're probably going to take the shot any minute now. So to summarize, these are my top 3 tips on how to improve your fall color photography. Number 1, look for contrast. When you're trying to find things to photograph, make sure you look for contrast. And what I mean by that is look for something that is different from the surrounding scene in either color or luminance or texture. By photographing something that is in contrast with its surroundings, draws the eye towards that thing. Additionally, when you have contrast in color, you can easily in Lightroom adjust the color slider of that particular color and add luminance, which further increases the contrast and draws the eye more towards that particular thing of interest. Number 2, use a polarizing filter. I know it's expensive, but it's definitely worth the investment. By using a polarizing filter, you reduce the reflection from an object, bringing out the color instead. And especially in fall photographs, color is key. So if you want to take good photographs with color, you have to have a polarizing filter. Number 3, if you can, set your camera to black and white when you are scouting for photos. Like I said in the video, sometimes it's easily to get overwhelmed by all the nice colors that you forget the thing that ties the image together, which are shapes. By switching your camera to black and white, somehow it becomes easier to find those interesting shapes. And then once you have those shapes, that's when you start to look for color. By doing that, you simplify the process of finding cool things to photograph. And those are my 3 main tips on how to photograph fall colors. Lastly, I want to thank everyone for the massive support I got since I started this channel. It's a lot of hard work, especially when you're moving and you have a full-time job. But I can tell things are starting to pay off. People are watching these videos and commenting, and I am forever grateful. And with that in mind, make sure you like this video and follow this channel so you get updates when there's new content. And until next time, thanks for watching.